Hey everybody, it's your Sam and I'm here with another video. We're going to go a little bit further into info dumping with world building. As many of you know, and who have watched my previous videos, world building is usually the biggest culprit when it comes to dumping tons and tons of information upon your reader. So how do you avoid that? Well, I covered a lot of that in previous videos, but I do have a couple of more tips. You have created this brand new entire world with big civilizations, with different religions, different governments, and you maybe created a whole magic system that is unique to your world, and races, and yeah, everything, all the things. And you are so in love with this world that you want to share it with the masses. Therefore, you have started writing a book. This whole entire world that you have built doesn't necessarily have to be shared with your reader for the most part. I know it's sad, it's heartbreaking, you've done all this work, but guess it's just the way it is. One tip that I have found recently that some people use for their world building in their books is to limit the details into a Twitter or X post. So you have a finite amount of characters that you can write in a post that you put up on Twitter or X, as it's now called. It is 280 characters. I do believe back in the day it used to be 150 characters. So if you can put a detail into a paragraph that is only 150 characters long to 280 characters long, I believe that will help you sprinkle the information throughout your work instead of piling it all together at once. One example would be, like I mentioned before, Natasha entering the Capitol. There's movement. She is riding her horse across the bridge and entering the Capitol, and I describe the street changing from the wooden bridge to the cobblestone street, or to the marble street of different stones or something like that. Limit that to 150 characters. They have a conversation, there's some dialogue, and then there is another paragraph where there is a little bit more description where Natasha feels the buildings closing in on her because they are so tightly packed against the street and so tightly packed against each other. Need to limit that to 150 characters as well, to 280. That is basically just to train your brain into not giving too much information all at once. It's a good measure, and it, like I said, it could be a good training tool for you, especially if you are known to dump a ton of information out all at once upon your reader. Another thing you can do, and do this just in the editing phase, is to take your details in that paragraph and ask yourself if they are important, if the character cannot live without seeing it or interacting with it, or if the reader cannot understand the room, the area, or something that is going to happen to the character without it. Again, it's kind of being a part of the story if it moves the plot forward. So is that detail important to the scene? This can be a double-edged sword because you can think that this detail is not that important, and you end up with white room syndrome. where there's no details at all and the reader is just seeing your character in a room. There's nothing there for the reader to build the room around the character or build the scene around the character. So ask questions about the details. Is it important? Does it move the plot forward? Does it help your reader see and feel the scene and react with your character in that scene? Keep the details down to one sentence of 150 to 280 characters, and then ask yourself if that detail is necessary for the plot, the movement of the scene, for the reader to know or for the character to interact with. Therefore, you can keep it in. Next, I'm going to read you what I wrote as a first page for my new work in progress. It's going to go up on Ream soon, but this is going to be reworked. It's already in the process of being reworked because, well, you'll see. Scenting gold, silver, and jewels on the air was a genetic marvel of her kind. Riches were gained through whatever means her people decided. Some traded, some bought, while others stole or killed. Some of them, like herself, used whatever means they felt necessary in the moment. Her mother was fond of killing and riddles. She liked squishing soft things in her claws, especially if the little thing keeping riches from her was too stupid to get the riddle correct. Hence the scent of blood overpowering the decadence that was her hoard. It drove the others of their species away, for most didn't like the coppery, cheap scent of a lesser being's life. Mistress Helvaint of Cavagant was a beast of hordes, multiple, many, and gigantic. She was also known as mother to a single female spawn whom she hadn't bothered to name. The daughter named herself. After years of being called child, girl, spawn, useless, why weren't you gold, she began calling herself Avian. Avian of Cavagant, child of Mistress Helvaint, the dragon of blood gold. A child of nothing other than a name she gave herself, for her mother took all, everything, except a few scraps of food and one golden-lettered book bound in black tattered leather. Helvaint wasn't one to read. She could, of course, just preferred having some poor soul tell her news before she sent them off on their way with empty pockets. The golden-lettered book became the book Avian carried around with her through the ages of childhood into teen, a book she quickly learned the value of before her mother did. For the book was called Universal Wealth, a spell book of greed. Until one day, one faithful stormy day, Helvaint watched her 18-year-old daughter open the book to a glistening page. It would have been like any other day when her daughter read her favorite book, except her daughter had smiled. A smile she used herself when she scented a wealthy sum. Slithering over the mound of golden coins on her violet scales, she read over her daughter's shoulder, feeling the coins slither through her black claws as she settled, only to find herself reading a most enticing spell title. Chests of the Deep, a spell for gathering the holds of ships from the depths whence they lie. Her daughter's favorite book became hers, a witch her ward. Since she couldn't feed two useless things, she cast her daughter out. So as you can see, that was a lot of information. Granted, it is information that the reader will know, but it's a lot of information right there on the same page. So let me know if that is interesting to you, if you would continue to read the book, or if you're like me and decide that this needs to be sprinkled throughout another scene that has actual action in it. Let me know in the comments. I hope you have enjoyed this little series of videos. I might do one more depending on if I find a couple more tips, stumbled upon. And if you have any questions that you want me to cover about info dumping, please put them in the comments down below. I will be glad to help you out. Also, if you want some more discussion about writing and possibly writer's block or how to do something better in your book, check out Breaking the Block, which is on Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern. There's a whole bunch of us up here on the screen where we answer questions and talk about writer's block and what could be causing it and how to get out of it and all that good stuff. Don't forget about the AWC, the AuthorTube Writing Conference. It's free for everybody to watch and attend, and it's going to be all here on YouTube. The link is going to be down below to the website so that you can look at the schedule of events for the last weekend in June. It's coming upon us really soon. I myself will have a position as a speaker on Sunday, so make sure to check that out. It's actually up here on the channel already, so go over to my live tab and hit notify so that you can be notified whenever I go live for the AWC. It's just going to be 20 minutes, short and sweet. If you want to read the book that I just read a first page out of, Daughter of Blood Gold, it's going to be up on my Ream soon. So make sure to check that out. Follow me over there so that you can be alerted whenever I upload chapters of my current works in progress over there. The link is also going to be down below. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so. Hit that like button. It warms my little heart. Don't forget to comment too. Thank you for watching. Be kind to one another out there. Be kind to yourself. Keep writing. Keep being creative. And I will see you next time.